Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have a very close personal friend of mine, someone who has inspired me for years, and really I owe everything I am to this guy. Larry Linne is one of the business world's most innovative thinkers, known for making the complex simple. Larry's powerful thinking strategies, combined with his broad and varied experiences, has led to a significant, far-reaching career. From pro football player to CEO of multiple companies to published author, Larry speaks to thousands of business leaders each year who run world-class organizations. His ideas and training tools have been implemented in the businesses of all classifications, ranging from small businesses to Fortune 100 companies. Larry is also the president and CEO of InCite Performance Group, a private client group and membership program for the top independent insurance agencies and brokerages. In the years that I worked with Larry, he taught me more than I learned in my previous 30 years in business. It's true. Larry, welcome to the show.
Well, after that, I'm not sure. I feel like all I can do is fall short. So thanks you very much.
Impossible. Anybody who catches Doug Flutie's first touchdown pass, he cannot fall short.
Oh my goodness. Well, my eyes were closed. I made the catch, but there you go.
There you go.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the kind words, Steve. And you know, it's mutual. I learned a lot from you and I continue to.
Right on, baby. Right on. Okay. First question. Global pandemic, social unrest, upcoming national elections. It goes without saying that times are uncertain right now. What are you seeing most business leaders doing today?
You know, right now is when leaders truly reveal themselves. And, you know, when you look at leadership, I define it pretty simple. It's somebody who's followed. And when you look at the people that are being followed, and primarily we're speaking about a lot of the executives out there, they're falling into some very clear categories. And anytime you have uncertainty, you have fear. You know, people are afraid, and fear creates the desire to still be successful, do what I have to do, but it manifests itself in different ways with different characters. So you'll have the leader that's scared to death and that turns into a tyrant, demanding my way or the highway. And they're just doing that to try to create confidence, but they're really just hiding their lack of confidence. Then you've got the person that wants everybody to be happy. So they tell everybody what they want to hear. Well, then that turns into chaos when people talk about it and they hear about it. Then you've got the people that say nothing at all. They just go quiet, they go silent, they kind of hide in their corner office. Well, that's not very successful. And then finally, you actually have people that do lead. And recently, I've been working on multiple blogs and potentially even writing a book about the things that a great leader will do right now of listening to people, trying to listen to multiple people out there, but yet still make good, quick decisions. Get rid of some of those confirmation and cultural biases and be self-reflective and maybe ask more questions. And then one of my favorite topics right now is just watching what happened prior to the pandemic to post-pandemic about how many things people said, Steve, we can't do that. We can't do this. We can't work from home. We can't. But all of a sudden they did. Well, what changed? They had to. And I think it's one of the greatest leadership lessons we've learned during this pandemic is that we need to quit saying we can't. Great leaders will say, what if we had to? And they start looking at problems a little bit different. And the what if we had to is creating some innovation and execution and leadership into new areas of disruption and success. So I think there's an opportunity whenever we get into these uncertain times. Unfortunately, most leaders, they go the bad directions and very few become those that go the right direction.
Well said, man. That was. This is why you have changed my life.
You're killing me, man.
All right. The next question I have is, in one of your recent blogs, you wrote, a leader will be the number one reason a company fails or stops growing. And great leadership is a weapon that can dominate the competition. Please elaborate on that.
Yeah, you know, I've been very fortunate. I've worked with truly hundreds of CEOs, and I do consulting work in a lot of different industries, primarily insurance, but I get to see a lot of different industries. And when I work with a CEO, and either immediately or a long period of time, I can almost always tell you the success level of the organization. And that's because the complexity of that CEO, how many things they can manage, how much they can hand off, how much they release and let things happen, to where even when firms get large, the greatest form of success is hearing things that happen that you didn't know were going on, but they're in alignment with what you want to have happen in the business. The problem is CEOs that control too much, that can't let go, that limit based on their capabilities what the organization can do. It's where it's going to stop. And again, I can interview a CEO, and usually within a couple hours, I can tell you about the entire performance of an organization. So I think they limit it. I think they also enhance the capabilities. And when I look at some of the leaders right now that are truly leading, they're innovating, they're being creative, they're getting people to do things they didn't know were possible. They're creating confidence in themselves and confidence in their people in the midst of fear and lack of confidence. They're absolutely becoming a company that their leadership became a weapon because they can dominate. And it's because of the leadership, not because of the company's products or what they do in that industry. It's because of what the leader does in creating true performance by inspiring and rising the tide of all of the employees and team members that they lead. I think leadership's a weapon in an uncertain time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm a simple man, Larry. You know that because we've worked together. Boil it down to the one thing. What's the one thing you want to tell business leaders that are watching this?
The one thing that I would share that might be the easiest to apply for the simple guy. It goes back to a story that when I was in college at the University of Texas in Austin, my grandmother was in Stephenville, Texas, and my grandfather about 2.5, 3 hours away. And I would go up there on weekends. It was a farm, and it was fun for the college guys to go play on a farm for a weekend. And I would call my grandmother on a Friday and say, I'm coming to see you. And one Friday I called her, this was pre-cell phone days. You couldn't call on the way. So I called her prior to leaving. I said, Nana, I'm coming up. I'm leaving now. She said, honey, don't leave now. And I said, well, why not? She said, well, it's hailing and raining. I said, well, Grandma, I just checked the weather. And first of all, it's clear here. And I think that's a single storm going through. She goes, no, honey. I'm looking out the window right now. It's raining and hailing. If you leave now, your car's going to get damaged. I said, well, Nana, I hear you, but that's there. She goes, honey, listen to me. Don't come for a few hours. It's raining and hailing. Well, I think the story, is really what we see today with leaders. They look out their kitchen window and say, what am I seeing? Now I'm going to make a decision. And I think the greatest leaders in uncertain times are ones that are going to call people in different parts of the country. They're going to call different vendors, different people in different industries. They're going to talk to their employees. They're going to talk to suppliers. They're going to talk to competitors. Those that get more information will be able to have more confidence in the decisions they make. And if we just look out the kitchen window with our own biases, we're probably going to make bad decisions. And whether it's reopening with COVID, if you're just looking at your company and making every decision, you're going to make bad decisions. If you're looking at the world today and saying, you know what, I need to know what other people around the country are doing, around the world are doing. I need to know what people think on both sides of the political sides of the table. I need to understand why people think what they think. I need to do more listening, which we all need to do a little bit in today's time. I think you'll find that your outcomes and your results will be great. But if you look out your own kitchen window, it's probably going to be hailing.
Yeah, that's a great story, and it really gets the point across very well. You really are, to me. You played for the Patriots, and Bill Belichick is known for creating. His assistant coaches went on and had great careers. None of them could beat Bill Belichick, but you are like my Bill Belichick. I would say 95% of what I know, and what I learn, and what I apply, I learned from you. So, Mr. Linne, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Mr. Farmelo, it is always a pleasure to be around you. Thank you.
And thanks for watching, everybody.